There is ancient wisdom that spans centuries. Most days, I try to hike 10,000 steps. Sometimes I don't get to it until late. If I do it all at once, it can take me about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I like to listen to things sometimes on my earbuds because it can get pretty boring. And sometimes I'll research things and record them before I go. Other times I'll see unexpected things, like the other day I saw a coyote running across the road. And later I saw the aftermath of his hunt for food. A hollowed out baby rabbit. Not too long ago, someone built something like a living room off the trail in the woods. Then one night I noticed it wasn't there anymore. They had a bridge, but they took it away. So I tried to jump across the creek bed and I fell. I misgauged how far I could jump because I'm getting so fat.
I think I might have scratched my ear. So this is where they cleaned this up. I guess they did this today. So I think I saw this here last night. This side right here would have been easier. That's where the bridge was.
This is what the bridge used to look like before they removed it. It looks like maybe they were trying to build a hangout. Maybe some teenagers or something. Well, I don't think anybody was sleeping here. I don't know what the coyotes would have thought of this place. In any case, it looks like they had plans. But in the end, they were really just trashing the trail, and I'm glad they cleaned it up.
I'm glad they cleaned that up. There's a fire hazard.
I'm very fortunate to live in a place with so many trails to get my steps in. And the medical center across the canyon reminds me to keep doing it. Recently, I've been thinking about my character defects, and that led me to research the 7 deadly sins and their corresponding virtues. The 7 deadly sins are pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth.
So I was studying the virtues earlier, and one of them is gratitude. And I was just thinking about how lucky I am to live here. Right now. I don't deserve it, but it sure is beautiful. The weather is perfect. Like, not sure how or why I'm here, but it's beautiful. And getting my steps in. It's Saturday, April 11th, 2026. I have 3,099 steps. Another virtue is faith, which I have lacked pretty much my whole life. Can you imagine if I had faith my whole life? If I had gratitude my whole life? what a difference that would have made. Basically, what I had growing up and what I practiced was the 7 deadly sins: gluttony, anger, envy, sloth, fear. One of the things I'm grateful for today is that I had the time to and the safety to research the virtues, and in the process I discovered a website called the Virtue Project. It's thevirtueproject.com or virtueproject.com. I forget whether it has a the in the name, but it lists a lot of virtues, A to Z, and the mission is to teach virtues to young people, and for a better world. Young people all over the world, and that got me thinking. What if I had learned those virtues when I was young? I did not. I learned the opposite. I was raised Roman Catholic, but I was never religious. But they have a thing that a pope codified in the 6th century. I forget which pope it was, called the 7 deadly sins. So I started there, and I haven't memorized them. But in order to overcome these 7 deadly sins, there are 7, I think it's 7 heavenly virtues, and they're like the opposite of the sins. So at my age, I think back on my life, and my mistakes just pop into my head, and I come to a moment like this where I have a epiphany of sorts, or a realization that my character has been fairly poor in many ways until now, and I never really thought it was. I always thought like I had good character, and in some ways I do, but in many ways I don't. And then it pains me that I can't go back in time and get a do-over. I can only go forward. But then, of course, having been raised Catholic, I remember the words of Jesus when he said, "Go and sin no more." I had read once that the word sin it comes from a Greek archery term, which means to miss the mark. So I missed the mark. I need to improve my aim, and go and sin no more just means you got to go forward. Stop doing that. It means just stop doing that. So the do-over is from here forward. I also think about what this YouTube personality, Dan Pena, said. He said, "Don't waste time on things you can't change," which means you can't go back in time and change what's been done. You just have to accept it, which acceptance is another virtue. Going forward is the do-over. The only thing I could change is myself, and if I could do that, and the first thing I should work on is my attitude. I think one has to be humble to be teachable.
There are a lot of channels on YouTube that purport to have it all figured out. This isn't one of them. They'll tell you what you need to do, how to do it, if you buy their course. Me, I've been around a long time, and I'm still learning, and I'm still curious. And I guess I'm learning something maybe I should have known a long time ago about the 7 deadly sins and their corresponding virtues. The virtues are designed to combat the detrimental effects of their opposing sins. For example, for the sin of pride, the opposing virtue is humility. For greed, charity. For lust, chastity. For envy, kindness. For gluttony, temperance. For wrath, patience or forgiveness. For sloth, diligence or zeal. Pride is considered the original primary sin. Humility is the virtue of placing others first and recognizing one's limits. Greed is the desire for material wealth, while charity is the selfless giving of time, money, and gifts to others. Lust is the intense, disordered longing for sexual pleasure, whereas chastity is the moderation or proper ordering of sexual desire. Envy is sadness at the sight of another's goods. Kindness or love encourages benevolence and rejoicing in others' success. Gluttony is the overindulgence in food or drink, while temperance involves moderation, self-restraint, and balance. Wrath is the uncontrolled feeling of anger and hate, which is defeated by patience and the ability to forgive. And sloth is laziness or a lack of spiritual effort. Diligence, on the other hand, is the persistent, hardworking, and enthusiastic approach to duty.